Hey, what's up guys? So today we are going to do an oil pan mod on a 17 to 25 M8 bagger oil pan. So this is just an extra oil pan that I picked up out of a swamp somewhere. Just so you know, it's not the cleanest oil pan, but this is to get some practice on this oil pan. I have not seen anything out as far as getting an oil pan done on this mod or on the M8, so we are going to attempt it for the first time here today. So stay tuned, let's get this thing rolling. That being said, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shave down these rivets and get this plate or cover off the top. So what I've decided to do is just drill them all out, and then it'll make it super easy for this. I already started on one. I'm gonna finish up all the other ones. But if you can get some loose and opened up already, obviously you don't have to drill those ones out, but all the ones that are pretty tight, I'm gonna go ahead and just drill these out and then go from there. All right guys, I think I've got all of these drilled out. Yep. So just make sure that they're dead on, right in the center before you start drilling. You don't want it to start veering off, but let's get this thing off and see if it'll pop off. Hopefully we did it enough. This is off. All right, got this plate off. Now we get to see what's inside the pan. All right guys, so just got back from Ace Hardware. Spent about 30-40 bucks there on just a few little things. I've got a tap here and then a adapter, a brass adapter that I'm going to be using. It's going to be a 1/2 inch comp and then 1/2 inch MIP. And then we've got a 1/2 inch tap here that we're going to be using. So the tap was about 20 bucks. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tap this with the 1/2 inch and then thread it in with the 1/2 inch inlet here on the adapter. So first I need to figure out how I'm gonna fit this tap. Needs to go all the way in and be able to tap here. So I can remove this fin here, or I could take this guy back and then tap it to here. All right, so this is what I'm gonna plan on doing here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut a slit into this fin here and then be able to lay this guy straight into here so I can tap it. Should give me enough room to be able to tap this thing in there. So let's get started with that. I've got this side pretty much cut out. Now I'm going to tap this 1/2 inch through and then get my adapter on there and go from there. So as you can see in the video, I cut those out. Probably only gonna cut that one, leave this one. I'm gonna try to drill a hole in it and then route my tube through it. So just make sure this is nice and straight before you start getting into it. If you want to add some grease to help this cut through a little bit faster, and then make sure you go back if it's binding up and keep it going. Shit all the time. I did have to shave down the sides here unfortunately, to get it as flush as I can and straight as I can in the hole here. So that was the reasoning of having to shave that down, was to be able to get this nice and straight in there. I am gonna probably have to use vice grips to tighten this, but I'll get it tight enough after I put some Loctite on it to be able to get this thing in there nice and snug. So let's move on to the next step here. Right now I'm going to drill a hole in here to get the tube all the way back here, so we can clear all that, but I'm going to clear this up a little bit too. So let's move on to that. Alright guys, so I bought this little adapter here for to drill a hole into this pan, only because I needed something pretty skinny to do it. So this is what I'm using, and then set it up straight. Pretty cool tool. Haven't had an issue with it. Alright, I like to start it off with that and then finish it off with the step bit here just to give us some more clearance. Here. And shove it in here. Alright guys, so I also have this pipe thread sealant that I use on my last one, and I realized that one didn't work as well. So I think because of the temperature here, the temperature is up to 125. I'm not sure how much the Loctite is, but like I said, I'm gonna just stick to the Loctite. I'm using red Loctite, if I can find it. Where'd it go? All right, now that I got that connected, setting this thing up. All right guys, we are finally wrapping up with this oil pan mod for the 17 and up M8. So this is what it's gonna look like. And just wanted to run through just some of the tools that I use. I use a drill, multi-tool, just to kind of cut down the fins here, and then the grinder just to clean up some of that. So these are the tools that I use. This is a special L DeWalt tool that I had for the attachment on the drill, just to kind of get in here and drill a hole. So make sure you look that up on Amazon. And then obviously to drill and tap this, I have a 1/2 inch -14 NPT tap for this. So it's a 1/2 inch tap that I used. And then as far as the adapter here, it is 14 comp, or no, 1/2 inch comp, 1/2 inch MIP.
Didn't focus. Something's wrong with your camera.
That's the brass piece that I use right here. That's what attaches this. And so make sure you pick up that. I think, honestly, I spent right around $40 for all of this. And then don't forget the 1/2 inch copper tubing that goes to the back here. So right here, you can get it all at Ace Hardware. You're gonna spend around $40, $50 max with the tap. So sweating my ass off here. But yeah, just make sure you pick all those parts up. As far as the splash cover that goes on top here, if I do end up putting it together, what I'm gonna do is drill holes in some of these rivet areas, and then what I'm gonna do is put this back on, and then tap and drill it so I can put a screw on top of these and then Loctite the shit out of them. The only thing I'm afraid of doing that is it coming loose and going into the motor. So I don't know if I want to run this. I've seen a lot of people just go without them. So I'm gonna do some more research on that before I make that decision. But if you do want to put it back on, that was my idea of getting it back on, was to drill and tap some of these holes to keep that plate down on top of this. But other than that, this thing ain't going nowhere. This is the oil pan mod for M8 17 and up. So check it out. But I hope this helped you guys at all in any way. All I ask, if you would like and subscribe, and we'll keep these videos rolling for you guys. Catch you on the next one.